Hi everyone, I wanted to read this article I found that someone sent me, and even though it's dated the 13th, I found it important enough to report on. This is an article out of the World News. It says gasoline prices could soon hit $4 a gallon, which it is at right now. Threshold they haven't flirted with since last spring. The average price paid by U.S. drivers for a gallon of regular now stands at $3.52, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, which released its latest figures this afternoon. That price represents an increase of 0.04% from a week ago and 0.38% from a year ago. Experts expect prices to spike another 60 cents or more, with the $4 mark being touched or exceeded sometime this summer. I personally think, we're going to see $5 a gallon before the summer. But it says probably by Memorial Day weekend and the peak of the summer driving season. The last time the U.S. saw $4 a gallon was back in the summer of 2008. And for those of you who don't know, back in 2008, the average gas price in the United States was around $4.29. It says, I think it's going to be a chaotic spring, says Tom Closer of the Oil Price Information Service. He expects average prices to peak at $4.05, though he and other industry trackers say prices could be sharply higher in some markets. Historically, $4 a gallon has been the upper limit of what consumers have been willing to pay. Last April, national prices peaked at $3.98 a gallon before receding. It's going to be tough to sustain that level, thinks Brian Mile, an energy tracker. People will drive less. That's what people say. They're going to be driving less and taking more buses and trains, and that's going to cause its own problems. It says Andrew Lippo, president of Lippo Oil Associates in Houston, says, where prices will go long-term is anybody's guess. He has been following gas prices one way or another for more than 30 years. He distinguishes between those forces affecting prices that are predictable and others that are not. Chief among them unknowns is the war in the Middle East, or if not war, increased tensions. If such worries, he says, that are most responsible now for the run-up in prices at the pump. Also boosting prices is the high seasonal demand that comes with summer vacations, plus a federally mandated switch from winter gasoline formulations to costlier ones for summer. The summer ones designed to reduce emissions require further refining steps. Where could gas be by year's end? It depends if the Middle East blows up in a war or not, says Lippo. That's really the big headline out there. Whether or not geopolitical events disrupt supply. We see that effect already. It says U.S. inventories have been rising, demand has fallen as U.S. consumers have adjusted to driving less. The reason prices aren't falling comes down to increased uncertainty. Prices, he says, are being buoyed by homegrown uncertainties as well. The market is waiting to see if Sunoco will shut down its Philadelphia refinery, which, if it happens, would be the third refinery closure in Pennsylvania in the last 6 months. If you're in the Northeast, he says, you need to be concerned. Well, that's where I am, especially if you're in the Philadelphia area. Sunoco, he says, has been closing its refinery capacity in response to factors that include reduced demand, the displacement of the gasoline by renewable fuels, and competition for cheaper imported gasoline. Over the past 2 years, they shut down over one-third of the Northeast refining capacity. If they shut this next one, it will be half. If one shuttered, refineries aren't easy to restart. They're not coming back, he said, of Sunoco's. The company has announced it will decide by July 1st whether to sell or close its Philadelphia facility. So that's what I wanted to pretty much report on, people. And I just want to say this, I heard that they're saying that if it goes up to $5 a gallon, people are going to be driving less. Well, let me tell you what happened in 2008. There was a big problem here with the buses and subways because obviously you cannot take everybody that goes by car into the mass transit system. It just doesn't work. They don't have the capacity to hold it. And I'm from New York, so I don't know how it is in other big cities, but I can tell you there was a lot of problems in 2008 when people tried this. So what we're going to have is a lot of frustrated people, a lot of people that are going to be, cramming into the subway system, cramming into the buses, and fights are going to be breaking out a lot of these stations. But I just want to say to everyone on my channel, you have to remember one thing. It's really stupid to actually get upset with the owner of the gas station, because to him it's absolutely there's no reason to be upset with him, because it has nothing to do with him. He actually has to pay his bills too. The people you should be upset with are the big gas companies, that are trying to steal all this money from the average American person, and just out of fear, really. And I just want to say that, I hope it doesn't happen, but I still fear that people are going to be having a lot of fights at gas stations, running off without paying, and stuff like that. We've seen that before, and I think we're going to see it again. So hang in there, people. It's going to get really rough, and I'm going to be trying to report on this as safely and as often as possible, trying to do it once a week. Probably the next time I do it will be next Monday. I'll take a look at my local station. Take it easy, people. Link is below to the story if you want to see it. And by the way, there's a video on it too, so you can watch that. Be well, people.